Hello, it's
Okay.
Friday, the 1st of November in the year of our Lord 2024. We're back. I always say a nightly news, but it's not, it's now a weekly news update. There's only two of us tonight. It's myself and the wonderful Christy. Hello, my love.
Hello. Nice to hear your voice.
Just the two of us. So we've got a lot to talk to. I started a weeks-long election special, and every night for the last 3 nights, is it 4 nights? It's 3 nights. I've been talking to our friends across the pond. They've been fantastic conversations. We've got another 3 chats that'll be out tomorrow. James, who founded Liberty Tactics with me, James Britpod, if anyone remembers the old days when Liberty Tactics first started. James is now obviously over in Tennessee with his wife and wonderful family, and he'll be with us tomorrow, and I can't wait. And we have Brent Hammercheck, who's an editor, along with Jack Posobiec at Human Events. He'll be joining us, and the one and only Greg Fernandez Jr., who has done election build-up with me since the 2016 election. So we've done it every year we've done it. It's not every year, every election. So I can't wait to speak to him. So yeah, we've got a lot on. Christy, you've just said there's horrible things happening in Spain. What's going on?
Yes, horrendous. So, well, a day ago, so maybe a day, 2 days ago, they had absolutely horrendous torrential rain, and it's caused like a mud flood to happen. And it's basically the deadliest floods in decades, unleashing all the mud waters, and it's turned the village streets into rivers, destroyed homes, and swept away bridges, railway tracks, and cars. It's really unknown the amount of people that are still missing, but they reckon it's around about 800 at the moment that are unaccounted for, and there's people just dead in their cars still there now. And I think it's been about 72 hours since it happened, something like that. So they're saying that they want people to spread the word about the situation, the abandonment due to the flooding in the province of Valencia, Spain. The government today sent only 500 soldiers to help. The army denounces that they have not been allowed to act. That's what it says. And it says almost 72 hours have passed, and there has been more 200 dead, 800 missing. The towns are devastated, and the houses and garages, everything is just absolutely destroyed. And thousands of people have lost everything: houses, cars, businesses. The streets are just full of mud, overturned cars, and there's been robberies and home occupations, population without electricity, water, data network, and the government is criminal, basically. It wants death. Like with COVID, nothing is coincidental. Sorry, couldn't get my words out.
Yeah, because it was Spain that had all that. They locked down that hotel at first, wasn't it? Do you remember? No, it was that was Tenerife, actually. That was Tenerife, but the Spanish government shut all that down when people were holiday. You know, when it first came out, and you had all the pictures coming out with people in the pool with their masks on.
That's right. Yes, I do remember that.
Spain, there's some really dodgy stuff with the Spanish government, the Spanish police, especially, like the whole Jay Slater case. I mean, the cover up there is just, I mean, it's shocking. So the Spanish police and government, dodgy as hell.
Well, there's also been some stuff about, obviously, to do with lithium around there and smart cities development. So it's going to be one of the areas for the smart city. There's a lot to do with, lithium for the batteries of the EVs and stuff. So I'm not really too clued up on all that of the reason why.
Well, lithium, look what if there's lithium and it's all in the air, look, what lithium did to Britney Spears.
Oh, yes.
Like they were trying to get Kanye onto lithium. Lithium is what goes into bloody batteries. I can remember talking about this with Brian, you know, because they were considering putting lithium in the water. And that goes into batteries. And well, look at the state of Britney Spears now. She can't string a sentence together. They've destroyed her. So imagine if that's in the air or whatever, I don't know, but it's getting into contact.
Well, yeah, there's something about there
The
being
health
sort of
repercussions are going to be
lithium.
like, it'll turn people into zombies if it's out in, like, if it's getting into people. I don't know, it might not. I might be going down the wrong path when it comes to the lithium, but surely if that's out in the
I'm not really sure, but I've seen a lot of mentions. Obviously, there's something to do with the lithium. They need that for this agenda because of the smart cities, and that's what they're going to be using, isn't it? For
oh right, so I'm gone down. Yeah, okay, so yeah, I went down a totally different path with that one then.
I think that you know, they're mining for it in that area for the smart cities and stuff. I don't really know 100%, but
there's not going to be smart cities.
The other thing,
I know no one believes me and thinks I'm completely living in this hopium dream world, but I'm telling you,
I think there's going to be, because like they're preparing, they're wiping out.
I know they are, but they're the deep state, and they are being that anything can turn around within a blink of an eye with God. Anything, just like that. I'm telling you. But anyway, let's prepare for the worst. Okay.
Yeah.
Prepare for the worst. Go on.
The other thing is that an article that someone found, which was it said Morocco ramps up its cloud seeding program amid fears that it will affect Spain's climate. So that's another thing. There's something to do with that. But one last thing about that, which I thought was really interesting. I actually sent you the article on the link so you can have a look at that. Sadly.
So what else is happening here in the UK? Because I have literally been focusing on what's going on over in the States, the election, and what's going on, and the Diddy stuff, which we'll get to. But is there any other news topics, any stories that I should know about that are important?
Well, obviously there was a march, there was a protest in London, which was on Saturday, and there was thousands and thousands of people there. It was absolutely heaving with people for the Tommy Robinson protest. But it was quite strange because, like, he handed himself in like the day before the big protest that he'd arranged, and then all of a sudden he said he's handing himself in, and he handed himself in, and now he's allegedly in prison. So it's all a bit odd, I find, but you know, he's got a very big support here and a lot of supporters. But I just find it all a little bit odd, personally, that he would actually hand himself in after arranging such a big protest. And then they're saying now it's kind of.
Didn't he do that before? He buggered off, didn't he? He disappeared, and like other protests were getting arrested, and he kind of just buggered off and went into hiding.
He always does that. I've seen that before, like a while ago at protests, where it's kind of like he was there, but then as soon as there was a bit of trouble happening, like he's first, like someone had filmed him getting into a car with like these huge guys, and then he's gone then, and he's nowhere to be seen. So he kind of like, you know, but then, like you said, each time it seems that he's not there for long. There's always an arrest, and then he's always asking for money. And this time I do find it quite strange, because one, that it was his protest, and why would you hand yourself in before? If you knew you were going to be arrested, you would at least go there, wouldn't you? And I would be arrested.
Did he openly admit it? Did he say that he'd gone in and handed himself in, or was that going to be if he hadn't got arrested? You know,
he admitted that he'd handed himself in. And then, so thousands of people went to London for his protest that he wasn't there. And then, so he's now in prison, they're saying, and at first they were saying that he was going to be in solitary confinement for his protection, but now they've moved him into Belmarsh, and I think he's now in open. He's not in solitary anymore, and they're now saying, or he's now getting his people are putting out information on the group saying that he's in the same prison as the boy or the man that allegedly killed those. Because I say allegedly.
Allegedly killed who?
Those three girls, the three girls that got stabbed, and this guy, and
Oh
gosh,
yes.
So three girls got stabbed, and there was riots after it because,
Yeah.
So that happened, and obviously, like I always say, well, we just never really know the 100% truth of anything. It's very difficult to find out the truth because, as we know, the media lie, and everyone who's in control of anything seems to, well, they use things to suit their agendas. So I always think we just wait and see. But this guy, you see, just after the protest as well, what happened was, then they announced that this man who stabbed these three girls, that they were saying that he'd had something found on him that was like, I think, a terrorist book and something else. So now they're saying that he was, as if he was some sort of terrorist. Oh, I honestly, it's really, really, it's like as if, it's like step by step though. It's like the protest in London, then Tommy
The
Robinson's
arrest,
arrested.
then the
Then it's
solitary confinement, then it's put in an
then
open prison where the same dude who, wow,
yeah, now he's in the prison with the same person who's who stabbed these three girls, and yeah, there's an awful lot going on. But I mean, what what they're trying to do now is, now they're sort of like letting it out as if this person was actually, they're saying he was this terrorist, which this is why that a lot of people got arrested, because they were saying that, but now arrested,
Oh right,
after
yeah.
the
It turns
riot.
out that he was, so they weren't. Yeah, they
Well,
weren't. Oh.
now it's saying that he was. So yeah. So, but then somebody else from UNN, he's done some information about it, and he's saying that this guy, there's something to do with the country he came from and the government here, that happened with the people in Rwanda, and that's quite an interesting one as well. So I
Yeah,
don't know whether
is
he
he the dude who also was on Children in Need? It is the same bloke,
yeah,
isn't it? Yeah.
it's him,
Yeah,
yeah.
all roads lead via the BBC when it comes to stuff like this. Brian, I can
Well,
remember Brian and I doing how they go over to countries and start up, programs to help things, and then the next thing, the kind of countries they're going over to kind of set the scene over there, rattle things up. But it's always the BBC. And as I say all the time, why are people still working for the BBC? I don't care if you've had a great career there. If you're working within the BBC, you can get another job somewhere else, or even better, go and start your own podcast. Why would you still have why are you still associating your name with the BBC? Knowing what they are complicit in and have been for years and years and years and still are. Because if you're still there, you condone the abuse of children. Simples. Thank you. Next.
Exactly. It's
Next.
shocking, isn't it?
Anything else I
Well,
should know?
just to say about this guy. So this guy now, so I just want to make this clear. So they're now sort of giving the public the idea that this guy could be some sort of extremist, terrorist type of thing because of the book that they found and something else, which I can't remember. But somebody else found information where this boy had come from, Rwanda, And in 1994, there was 800,000 people slaughtered in Rwanda. And they were, yeah.
I think
So,
I remember that. I think I remember that.
and tens and thousands of them, yeah, of the massacre, who were part of it, headed towards the UK and Europe. And many of them who were behind these horrific crimes were falsely allowed to claim asylum. These mass murderers then went on to have families and embedded themselves in countries they went
Exactly.
to, living lives in comfort and luxury.
This is
So,
why this is exactly what's been going on in the States. Hence, you look to the States, report what's going on, because you can guarantee the same crimes that were happening a couple of years, when it all kicked off there, it will be trickling here soon enough. And that is exactly what's going on in America.
oh, is
And they're
it?
coming to
Oh,
our
God.
tiny little country. It's an agenda. It's totally an agenda.
Yeah. Well, it just to finish that off. So it
Yeah,
just
sorry,
says
love,
that
sorry.
that's all right. So it says security services were fully aware of this, as were the authorities. In many cases, the British judge basically had they wouldn't let them, sorry, return to Rwanda, as they don't think they will get a fair trial. So can you understand now why the government might be in panic mode? So this is
We're
something.
war criminals. They're basically war criminals, and they've embedded themselves in the country by having their children here, probably living in a council house, getting everything paid for, a good education. But at the end of the day, they're still, they have a different total culture. They do things differently. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In different ways. They have certain practices that we don't have in our society. Whatever. Um, yeah, yeah, they're war criminals. They've just brought in war criminals. That's what they've done.
They've done that. So this boy is the child of one
Of
of
one,
that
yeah.
family that came to here to the UK, because they lived in Cardiff in Wales.
Yeah, they
This,
did, yeah.
yeah. So anyway, that's about it. So that's little bits of everything. It's an awful lot, really, to sort of
So
look
hang on,
into.
how have you had to go look for that story, or is it like mainstream news that about this boy and who the
That's
family are,
not
or did you have to
mainstream.
kind of go and
That's
dig a
not.
bit for it?
Yeah, because that's not mainstream. Because I think what
There
they're
you go.
doing is on the mainstream, they're trying to make people think that he's a Muslim terrorist. Yeah, because they want to stir up the thing now. That this is what it's all about, isn't it?
Of
They
course
want to
it is.
stir up this between Muslims and the people, the British people. So, with the Tommy Robinson thing, now he's in prison. People are a bit angry. He's in
Yeah,
prison, and
yeah,
now he's
yeah.
going to be with the guy who stabbed the girls, the Rwandan guy. And then
Yeah,
they're kind
yeah.
of saying that he's found with a terrorist book. So it's all step by step to
But
just
it's
bring
all
on.
happening, though. This is exactly it.
Hatred.
People have got to realise what our government and their agenda is, to rattle up, look for the little agents hiding there, here or there. Do you know what I mean? And in the places. And this is the Great Awakening. It is absolutely happening. I'm telling you, it's happening.
Good, I hope so.
1,000,000%.
Right, I'll let you get on with your news. And
Okay, I haven't got that much. As I say, I've been doing the interviews on the election, and what's happening. And I mean, the mainstream media, I mean, they'll show clips from CNN and they'll show clips from The View, and you've got people at a Kamala Harris, I don't know, a couple of hundred people, and they're standing there. Yeah, look at our crowd. I wouldn't bother going down the road because there's nobody there. And it's just, oh, it's so triggering. And then you see the people at The View, and they're still going over about that Stormy Daniels. Every single thing has been thrown out of court, but they don't stop. But they are losing. Kamala Harris is making an absolute idiot of herself. Trump's packing stadiums. He was in the garbage truck. He's been at McDonald's. He's been shot. He's been arrested and had his mugshot taken. Kamala was never elected, voted for presidency. When she tried to run for president, she was the first one out. You know, when they were doing the Democratic, who was going to stand for the Democrats, she was the first one out. And she hasn't now been, they haven't voted to make her the Democratic party, person to stand for president. She's just automatically walked in there. They kicked Joe out and they put her in. And Joe seems to just be embarrassing her completely. Every time she's about to go and do a big rally or do a big interview, he suddenly pops up online. So everyone's attention all comes out and gives a press conference just as she's taking the stage. So because Joe Biden's been absent for so long, to him to make these appearances all of a sudden, the press and focus goes over to Joe Biden. So I don't know. And then obviously he called Trump supporters garbage. Hence Trump trolling to the max, as only Trump does, turning up to his rally in a dumper truck. And I saw pictures earlier of people going out in Halloween costumes covered in garbage with Make America hats on. It was fun. So that's that. And one other thing that needs to be noted, listen to this, every single person who is allegedly involved with crimes for Diddy in Hollywood is coming out and endorsing Kamala Harris. Every single, they had LeBron James today come out. He was pictured in a little French waitress, you know, with the tutu at Diddy's house, taking a party at a white party. LeBron James. So they're all coming out. Beyonce went up on stage and gave a few words. The crowd went mental because they were told it was going to be a free Beyonce concert. So the place was mobbed. And she didn't sing. She went on stage for 3 minutes and there was absolute uproar over that. She's had, basically everybody involved with the Diddy stuff is out there publicly endorsing Kamala Harris. Fascinating. Sorry about that, chaps. Life with Daxons. So, so all the celebrities that are going up and endorsing Kamala Harris are implicated in the Diddy cases, which is fascinating. There's been more children come through. One was a 10-year-old boy. The crimes are horrific. I think it's only going to get worse. Tony Busby, the lawyer who's got the 120 cases, he will be submitting paperwork with other celebrities' names on it in due course. And then the woman, and I can never remember her name, she's got 50, and she's just been at the grand jury where a gentleman has given evidence and J-Lo has been completely implicated over the rape of a 13-year-old girl. After, was it the MTV Music Awards or the Grammys, Diddy had a party. It's when she was in like the rhinestone and the guy got shocked. You know, when Jennifer's in the white with the bandana on. Apparently he witnessed two celebrities, male and female, watch somebody and others abuse this girl. It's dark and it's dirty. And this is another, like, the next step will be really to expose the list at Epstein Island and actually what went on there, because it's going to be far worse than what we're hearing with Diddy. Any thoughts on all of this, Christy? It is the fall of Hollywood, I do believe.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I don't know an awful lot except for what I've heard you and Christine talking about. And I've seen a little bit of Justin Bieber stuff talking about it and crying and different things. So I really don't know enough about it. You're the expert, you and Christine.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just your thoughts on the whole thing. I mean, it's absolute depravity. It's linked to the most famous of people that our kids, you know, listen to, and, you know, kids involved are getting abused, you know, young artists have gone through it.
Well, I know it's a disgusting industry. The whole thing is just
And it has to be
absolutely
talked about. I know people say, why you focus? Yeah, people say, why you focus on these celebrities and everything else. Sorry, but it's involved anything that is involving children and people doing the most evil of crimes to innocence. I'm going to talk about it. Sorry.
Yeah. I
know it's happening everywhere, but, you know, people need to be so aware. You know, it could be one of your kids who's going off to a concert and they're hanging around after, picked up and put into a car.
I know.
That's what it is. Your kids, you think they're going off, you know, one, they're probably being completely and utterly mind controlled. If you're going back on that Travis Scott's Astro World and what happened there.
That was absolutely frightening. Horrendous, that was. Yeah, I saw
then
that.
you had the shooting with that Ariana Grande. You know, there's always kind of something. But do you know what's been, I noticed that people are talking about it a lot. And I never picked up on it. Every time you go and see, like with the Grammy Awards and people are thanking everyone, you know, for this award, every person thanks Beyonce. Every single person.
Yeah,
It's different. They all thank Beyonce. She's high priestess. She's a high priestess. You're only going to get there if you bend the knee. And what they're saying now, the story is, Kanye West, when he stormed the stage and said Beyonce took the trophy off Taylor Swift, and said about Beyonce, she wasn't going to thank Beyonce. And he actually saved her because in her speech there was no mention of Beyonce. He could see where it was going, and he went up and jumped in. So they're now saying he wasn't disrespecting Taylor at all. He actually saved her because anyone who disses Beyonce ends up dead. A bit like Hillary.
Really? Oh my gosh.
Well, Aaliyah died to give rise to Beyonce. You had Jay-Z's side piece, can't remember her name. She died. You don't hear if there was that Blue Cantrell. Do you remember she did that Breathe? I'm only lonely. I shouldn't sing it. But she was huge. She disappeared because she was like competition with Beyonce. Everyone just disappears. So anyway, that's the celebrity gossip.
Evil, nasty people.
It is really nasty. I think the House of Windsor is falling. It looks like there's trouble at the palace. I've only seen a few headlines, but William's being humiliated. I think Harry and Meghan are about to make a return. No one's seen Kate, by the way. Again, she's kind of disappeared a bit. She's gone back into like have her batteries recharged or put them back in her little her little bloody test tube. Oh, I don't know. It's such a weird situation. You know, we still haven't had any explanation about the horses. Okay, they said the horses bolted in central London, but there hasn't been one single picture of the actual incident happening. With the number of mobile phones that are in London, there has not been one photograph. All we've had is a photograph of two horses galloping down the Mall or wherever it was.
So did it, you know, they set that up then for...
Who knows? I don't know what the hell's going on, Christy. I really don't. But there's something afoot. There is definitely something afoot. All the Kate stuff away for over 7 months, all the fake photographs, the video. Did she even have cancer? Because I haven't heard her show support or charity work at all, mentioning any cancer at all, or helping survivors of cancer. Never once has she mentioned it.
Well, there was something about chemo again recently, mentioning her with some sort of oh, I don't know.
She was clear of it. I thought she was clear of it. But then she turns up at the Trooping of the Colour, like looking like completely fresh, new bum, new face. You know, what's going on there? Was it really her? We know about the hologram things. I mean, it's unbelievable. We know clones, 6 months. We discussed this before, haven't we, Dolly the sheep? So
that's right.
We don't know where Kate is. Andrew has Charles isn't going to give Andrew any money. He's cut Andrew off apparently. So Andrew's going to have to come out and spill the beans about how bad Charles is, I reckon. the fight of the
Didn't
house.
they do it years ago with the Gladiator? Didn't they tell us then that he died, didn't he, while they were filming? I can't think of his name now. He used to drink a lot. Very
Russell Crowe.
famous. Yeah,
Russell Crowe.
no, it wasn't Russell Crowe. The guy that died, wasn't it? And he was I can't think of his name now. And he died during like halfway through filming, but they still managed to finish the film. They used, you know, the stuff to do
was it
with
Heath
how
Ledger?
they.
Was it Heath Ledger? Heath
Oh
Ledger?
my gosh, I don't know. I
He
don't think
played
it
the
was him
Joker
either.
in one of the Batmans.
No,
Yeah, they did
it was
amazing things with that.
yeah, it
Oh,
was
I
some.
know who you mean. I know who you mean. Oh, he's great, and he's got the best voice. Christopher Reed.
That's right. Christopher Reed died, and they
That's
had
right.
half the film to go or something. And I remember that years ago because they said they could still carry on with the film and
Yeah,
put him in. You know, they still had the stuff that they could, you know, put him in, that he was there, but he wasn't. And they kind of
exactly.
let
Well,
you
look at the
know that
technology
years
now.
ago.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh,
So how
it's
long have they really been doing that? I mean, they kind of like mentioned those things years ago, but obviously they've probably been using that the AI, you
the
know,
AI stuff. Yeah.
AI and all that stuff for a lot longer. Do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I really do.
Much longer than
Well,
we realised, possibly, I would say.
I'd say definitely. Well, we're going to close it up. If you
Okay.
feel led to support us, we would very, very much appreciate it. I'm going to be back tomorrow with 3 or 4 more interviews running up to the big day on Tuesday, and then hopefully we'll do a roundtable of everyone who'd been on over the course of the week and discuss the aftermath of November the 5th. So I do believe military are going to come in control at some point. They're either going to the white hats are either going to let the steal happen, and it's so big and so blatant there's going to be public uproar that there's the military come in control, or is it going to be just before, within the next few days? Who knows? But what a time to be alive. Everyone,
It sure
pray
is.
pray for everybody affected in these times right now. Pray for President Trump, pray for all the patriots, just pray. And
Spain.
God's in
And
control.
Spain. Pray
And
for
what?
Spain.
Definitely pray for Spain.
Spain sounds horrific.
I'm going to have a look into that. That's tragic. And I feel embarrassed that I didn't know about it, especially as it's been 72 hours. So,
Yeah, it's really bad. Really
yeah.
bad. All
All
right,
right.
then. Thank you. I'll speak to you
Thank
soon.
you so much. libertytactics.co.uk. Exposingthelie.info is Catherine's website. And if you're interested in anything to do with health, there is a link below for Clive de Carle products. They are the best. And if anyone is interested in the magic chair, email me, lou@libertytactics.co.uk. That's it. Good night. God bless. And I'll be back tomorrow. And Kat, Christine, and Jason will be here next week. That's it. We're definitely going now. Bye.
Bye.